Hey y'all, my name is Luke and today we're going to be doing a quick tutorial on JSTOR, which is a not-for-profit service that helps scholars, researchers, and students discover and build upon a wide range of content on a trusted digital archive of more than 1,000 academic journals and 1 million primary sources according to their site. The range of content on JSTOR is massive, from the late 19th century to present times. And the scope of JSTOR is also massive, with over 50 academic disciplines covered, including arts, business, economics, history, humanities, law, medicine, science, mathematics, and the social sciences. So quite a lot to look to. JSTOR is a fantastic source for the social sciences, with political science, for instance, having over 170 journals and 8,000 plus books, as well as history, which has 300 journals and over 17,000 books in its library. It is less focused on science and math, however. Additionally, JSTOR also differentiates by disciplines such as ethnic groups or regions. So as you can see Jewish studies, African American studies, or something like a region like Middle East or Latin America. JSTOR is full of academic journals, books, conference proceeding transcripts, and over 1 million primary sources, like I said. And JSTOR is expensive for that reason. So depending on who provides access to JSTOR for you, for example, my University of Wake Forest, as you can see over here, the access has already been provided. But you can usually either read the full text or click on an external link to read the full text of a book. And with JSTOR access, you can read any journal article that's available in its entirety, either on the site or by downloading it in PDF format. So to exemplify some of the great things that JSTOR is capable of, I'm going to take some examples from a South Asian politics class I'm currently in. So let's look up Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Just a quick search. That's going to bring up 116,000 search results, from different journals, news reports, things in different languages. All of this information is just too much to be able to build good researchers off of. So we're going to head over to Advanced Search. So since Modi came to power in a very controversial way in the state called Gujarat, where he's from, using kind of the ethnic ideas called Hindutva, we use these as Boolean operators here that we can use to add more robustness to our search. Additionally, JSTOR lets us use a lot of other things to narrow our search, including articles, books, pamphlets, stuff like that. So we're going to go with articles. We're also going to make sure we can look at all content. We're going to go from 2000 to 2016 to make sure that this content is very new. We're going to make sure it's in English, obviously, because we don't want any sources from other languages. We're not going to follow this discipline or journal moderator just because it sometimes can trip you up if you're not really sure which subject matter this could fall under. So we're going to go for a search here. And boom, here you've got it. You've got Modi's victory. You've got all the words you need, the Gujarat, and you've got his victory here. You've got Hindutva in the second one. So we can see that all of these articles are exactly on what we want to learn about. We want to learn about the Prime Minister, we want to learn about what happened in Gujarat, and we want to learn how that relates to the ideology that he's putting out. So all of these are great sources. We're going to be able to download these PDFs, add them to a reading list for later, or cite them. We can also sort them by relevance from newest to oldest, and we can make sure these content are read and download only, or they're from a different type of source. Let's try another example. So the country to the south of India, called Sri Lanka, has been in what just ended up finishing a really long civil war with a terrorist group called the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. So to learn about this terrorist group, you could just click into JSTOR and find from basic search. You're going to get a lot of different sources here. You're going to get a cover. You're going to get different table of contents, stuff that isn't really focused on what you want. You're going to get book reviews, news clippings, all sorts of stuff that does have their name in it, but you're going to want to make sure that search is more advanced. So in this case, we're going to go to an advanced search. We're going to use the same word for the terrorist group, but we're also going to use the acronym that the group uses. And here we're going to use the author function, and we're going to put in Neil Devoto, who happens to be a Wake Forest professor and an expert on the subject in its entirety. We're going to make sure we can access all content here. So we're getting a very specific search here by using the author. We're going to go to articles to make sure we see the articles that he's written. We're going to go to the same time periods that we've been looking for before to make sure it's modern. And we're going to make sure it's in English. Again, we're not going to touch these different types of subjects. But we're going to go back to search. This time we only get 7 search results, but the fact of the matter is that all 7 of these results are great sources because they're written on an expert in the subject. They're also journal articles, citable and downloadable, and you can cite them at any time, and this content is completely ready to read and download. So thanks to some of the great things about JSTOR, including the Boolean operators, the ways we can manipulate time, manipulate the source in articles, journal types, what have you, there's many great things that JSTOR can do, especially when searching in the social sciences. I hope this tutorial helps you, and thanks for listening.